Times are changing for animals. Many years ago, people kept warm by wearing the skins and furs of animals. Then the ancient Egyptians introduced a revolutionary idea. Clothes made from the spun fibers of plants, like cotton and flax. America's amber waves of grain weren't always harvested with the tractors of today. Oxen and horses were once forced to work in the fields, pulling heavy plows over thousands of acres, until people realized that machines could do more work in less time. And during World War II, soldiers weren't the only brave heroes. Carrier pigeons were used to carry messages over dangerous battlefields. One pigeon was shot 3 times, but still managed to fly hundreds of miles and deliver a message that saved thousands of lives. Today, the armed forces use computers and other high-tech ways to send important messages.
Times really are changing. Today, most uses of animals are obsolete. Some circuses, like the Pickle Family Circus and the Cirque du Soleil, provide plenty of death-defying thrills and spills without getting animals into the act. And more than 550 companies that once tested things like shampoo, mascara, and floor cleaners on animals now test their products in test tubes and petri dishes. And as for clothes, well, I'll let the expert Roshamba tell you about that.
Cool shoes, huh? Believe it or not, they're actually made of plants. No, I'm not kidding. Clothes and shoes that used to be made of leather and fur are being made of all kinds of neat things these days. This funky jacket, actually made of spun glass. Some shoes and belts are made out of recycled soda bottles and plastic bags. And this backpack is made out of old rubber bike tires. Now that's what I call recycling. Get it?
Over 100 years ago in the American West, horses in the Pony Express were used to carry the mail. The horses ran many miles over wild, dangerous land to get the mail through. Today, we use the postal service, email, fax machines, and overnight shipping companies to send letters and packages. Can you think of other examples where man-made machines now do the work that animals once did? Can you think of any uses of animals today that will soon be replaced?
Did you know that even the littlest thing you do can have a big effect on those around you? That includes animals. The best rule to follow is the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The golden rule pretty much means you should treat others the way you would like to be treated. Sounds easy, right? In fact, there are lots of ways you can use the golden rule in everyday life without even realizing that you're using it.
The animals we live with are a part of our families, so we should treat them that way. This includes making sure they have everything they need, like clean, fresh water, good things to eat, toys to play with, a warm bed to sleep in, and regular veterinary care. Animals should always wear a collar with ID tags, in case they get lost. And remember, you are your animal's best friend, so play with him often and give him lots of love.
Sometimes uninvited animals may get into your home, but there's no need to hurt them. Take bats, for example. Did you know that some bats pollinate flowers just like bees? And fruit bats pass on the seeds of the fruit they eat, which helps to grow more fruit trees. Personally, I like bats. I think they're pretty cool. If a bat flies into your house, Don't try to touch her. She's probably scared and might bite you or hurt herself trying to get away. Here's what to do instead. Open the window, turn off the lights, leave the room, and close the door. When the bat calms down, she'll find her way out.
Can you imagine if strangers toss their trash in your living room? Well, animals live in meadows and lakes, so we shouldn't dump our garbage in their homes. Seagulls can get tangled in lost fishing line, and turtles can mistake plastic bags and balloons for food and swallow them. Six-pack rings can strangle ducks, geese, squirrels, and other small animals. So always cut the rings apart before you put them in the recycling bin, in case they wind up where an animal might find them. Remember, litter isn't just ugly. It can hurt animals. Picking on those who are weaker than you, whether it's your little brother or a stray cat, is just wrong. Nobody likes a bully. Things like rocks, sticks, and BBs hurt. So don't ever use animals for target practice. If you're tempted to collect tadpoles or fireflies, stop and think about how you'd feel if an alien snatched you up and made you live in a giant jar.
Your dog probably loves to play chase. Other animals like ducks or geese won't think this is very much fun, especially if you accidentally separate a mother from her babies who can't survive without her. Whenever you see someone bullying an animal, speak out or ask an adult, like a teacher or police officer, for help.
So remember, it's important to think about how your actions affect those who can't speak up for themselves, or who are too small to defend themselves. Be kind to all animals every day. What would you do if someone, another person or an animal, needed your help? Is being different or even ugly a reason not to help someone? Can you think of a way that you can improve the life of an animal who shares the world with us? Stories of animals who have come to the aid of humans have been told for hundreds of years. There are so many amazing animal stories that it's hard to count them all. This is one of my favorites. A number of years ago, on a camping trip in the wilderness of Canada, a 12-year-old boy was forced to spend the night alone in the woods after he was separated from his family. Terrified, the boy cried and shivered for hours. Suddenly, in the dark, he felt a warm, furry body against his. He thought that he had been found by a dog, so he put his arms around the animal. Soon he calmed down and fell asleep. When he woke up the next morning, he found 3 wild beavers huddled against him. During the night, the temperature had fallen to below 0, but the beavers kept the boy from freezing to death. Not too long ago, many people were amazed and inspired by this story. At a zoo near Chicago, people were scared when a 3-year-old boy fell 20 feet into the concrete gorilla exhibit. As the boy lay unconscious, a huge gorilla walked toward him. The gorilla was Binti, a mother gorilla carrying her own baby on her back. Everyone, including the boy's mother and father, held their breath. They were worried that Binti might hurt the boy, but instead Binti picked him up, just as she would pick up her own baby, and carried him to a door that she had seen humans use many times, and where she knew someone would come for him. The boy recovered in the hospital, and Binti became a hero around the world. Binti's kindness surprised many. But in the animal world, there are many examples of the kind of heroism she showed. In Africa, these elephants show just how much they value the life of a baby elephant. Here, a baby elephant is stuck in the mud. The other elephants are working hard to free him. The baby could die if he's sucked beneath the thick mud, which is pulling him under like quicksand. Thanks to the elephant's hard work, the baby is freed. The animals in these stories were smart enough to realize when others were in danger or in need of their help. Most importantly, they did something to help. We were amazed when we first heard these stories of animal kindness. But when you think about it, wouldn't we help our friends and families if they needed us?
I hope you understand now that animals' lives and families mean as much to them as ours do to us. Remember, all lives are precious. Every living creature matters. So let's share the world. Thanks.